Welcome back. It's Boomer TV, and I'm Paul Poteet.
I'm Julie Patterson in the Westport house.
In the kitchen. Where I've spent more time in the kitchen with you than I have with Mrs. Poteet.
Isn't it great?
It's amazing, and I've done just about as much work.
We are going to be cooking today. What about Sunny 6-can salsa with Kim Galliaz, a registered dietitian. She's on the show.
She's already opened up some of it. It smells delicious. So that's coming up, and we're also going to give you some advice on estate planning later this half hour.
Electric bikes? Wait till you see these bad boys.
And some adorable dogs and cats from the Humane Society. That's all coming up too, right here on Boomer TV.
And you'll meet Gary Dick, if you haven't before. He's fabulous.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from
Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match a customer's specific needs and style. More information on Westport Homes' lifestyle collection, including community locations, at westport-home.com.
Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency. More at uniquehomesolutions.org.
Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt Lawyers, helping people with business and estate planning. More information is available at apwlawyer.com.
Back on Boomer TV with a guy who's done a great job of kind of branding himself as a business expert. I know a little bit about branding. I've read about it.
He's master brander, that's why.
And Gary's done an excellent job, too, in kind of a different media areas. Interesting guy.
Yeah, Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick. You're going to meet him now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gary Dick. Welcome to the premiere of Indiana Business This Week. Starting now, you have a weekly choice for the best in local business news, interviews with corporate executives, and a look ahead at what will happen in business next week.
All right, guys, they've somehow let us in here to the very secret studio with the one and only Gary Dick, Inside Indiana Business. Thank you for having us.
Well, welcome.
I feel
It's great
very
to have
special.
you.
It is quite an honor. You are going to be celebrating 20 years?
20 years. It's hard to believe. You know, I started this show when I was 5.
It's got to, I mean, right? It's got to be. And you know,
Yeah.
you're not the first one to try a show like this with this format.
Yep.
But week after week, you're bringing in some of the top leaders, entrepreneurs, breaking news stories. What is it about this show that keeps this continued success?
Well, I think it is the guests. I think that, you know, the guests are the star of the show. And there are so many good things, really good things going on, not just here in central Indiana, Indianapolis, and the region, but every corner of the state. And that's what we really have really tried to focus on over 20 years, is focusing on the stories and people, the people making things happen, whether that's a C-level executive, you know, a CEO or CFO, or a mom and pop entrepreneur, a young professional, whatever the case might be, academic institutions. And then really giving them an opportunity to talk about what they're doing, how they did it, and the impact on communities. So really, I think the secret sauce, if you will, is there are lots of great people doing lots of really great things in Indiana, and people want to hear about it.
You know, our viewers, boomers, what kind of advice would you give them when you're looking at your balance of career, family? You do so much in the community, charity. What is it that kind of keeps you going every day?
Yeah, I think that balance is important, and a lot of people talk about it, and people will say that I seem to be everywhere, and I do get out and get around, but I really do try to focus on limiting it, rarely doing things on the weekend. Outside of family things. I am busy during some evenings, but try to limit that. And as we have grown and matured as a company and an organization, I can be a little choosier on what events and things I go to. So I think it's important that you are intentional about connecting to community and doing things, but also keeping that balance. And technology is great. It can be a kind of a maddening kind of thing, but technology to me enables me to do more things and to stay connected to family. Our kids are out of the home now, but I started this when they were all still there, and through a big part of that. So using technology to just to clean out emails and take care of some of that, the minutia that gets, it takes up so much time. Even on vacations, I try to unplug, but I don't completely, because when I get back, I'm somewhat organized and can hit the ground running as well.
Now, how's that been challenging as news has changed over the years? As now, I mean, Inside Indiana Business is on social media, and you guys, I mean, has that been a challenge, or you continue to kind of adapt?
It's a challenge, but on the one hand, it's fun. I mean, it really is, especially on the social media side. I think social media is, on balance, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. It's fun. It's got some negatives to it. I think there's a real bad side to it in terms of some of the information gets out there and some of the hate speech, frankly, that gets out there and those types of things. But for us, it's a very important part of our daily news cycle. I mean, it is. All of our stories, virtually all of our stories, are in some fashion on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram in particular. The challenge is keeping up with what that next social media piece is going to be and how you leverage it. But technology has really enabled me to do this. Because I think back 20 years ago when we started, and 18 years ago we started our company, we wanted to do radio. And back then you needed an ISDN line, or you needed some, really, an expensive hookup to be able to do radio. Now you do radio on your computer.
Yeah.
You've got a cut and paste type program. I do radio most days from home. Our staff will do it. Obviously they do it from here, but can do it remotely. Television, unbelievably, we can send our show via FTP. We can send our show via the internet to stations around the state. Yeah. So whereas 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had to get a satellite uplink time, and it was expensive, and there were moving parts there. Now we just take our show, 60-minute show, HD content, and it goes over the internet, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible, reaching a whole new audience. Well, Gary, I cannot thank you enough for having us here to the Secret Studio.
Secret Studio,
Secret Studio, all kinds of secret things. So we really appreciate it. For now, I am Amanda Clark with Boomer TV.
We're in the Westport kitchen. Julie and I like to take possession from time to time. Neither one of us, I don't know, are you much of a cook?
Yes, I cook almost every night, actually.
Okay, 1 out of 2, ain't bad. I bet I know somebody else who's probably spends a lot of time in the kitchen.
She's good. You may have seen her on TV before. This is Kim Galliaz. She's a registered dietitian amongst all the other letters after her name, but that's the main one, right?
That is, absolutely.
I can't wait to see what you've got for us today.
It smells so good.
An easy recipe, a big batch recipe for all your special gatherings, your family get-togethers, your barbecues and cookouts. Here's the deal. It's called my Sunny 6-Can Salsa. And every ingredient is filled with good nutrition for all of us, and especially boomers. So I love this because of that.
Okay.
6 cans, no
Yeah,
waiting.
here you go. I'm going to start with my first one. And Paul, if you'll hold up this little colander right here.
Well, I'd love to hold
Basically,
it.
with these black beans, I rinsed and drained them. And did you know that if you rinse and drain any canned bean, you get rid of a certain amount of sodium? It's a quiz. How much sodium do you get rid of if you rinse and drain those canned beans? Close, 45% at least.
So almost
just
half.
rinse and drain them, okay? And it will reduce that sodium right
Interesting.
there,
Didn't
okay?
know that.
So great. Now, how about some more vegetables? I want you to eat as much of these as you can, or your tomato sauce, tomato paste products, because when you cook the tomato, it actually leaches out more of that lycopene that is great for men and prostate health. So very important right there. Now here's another one, corn. I absolutely love a can of corn because, like all of these fruits and vegetables, every canned fruit and vegetable has just as much nutrition as the fresh counterpart. And I want people to get over their phobia about canned and frozen. This is just so convenient. Now, how about some peaches? This is what's going to make it really sunny. I took the sliced peaches and all I did was drain them, and then I kind of chopped them up. Same thing with these pear halves. And lastly, you got to have pineapple in a sunny salsa. These fruits and vegetables are just chock full of not just fiber and vitamins and minerals, but all those natural phytonutrients that can help boost your immune system, reduce your risk of heart disease. blood
We
pressure,
boomers
keep it
need
in
that.
check. You
We do.
absolutely do. How about some green onion? Do you like that, Paul?
Yes.
You know, I do like onions.
Okay.
Wait, did you just answer for
I
me?
did, sorry.
Julie, do you like onions?
I
Okay,
love all
do you
the
like red
spices.
onions? So I've got red
Yes.
onion and green onion. Now, this is 2 whopping jalapeno peppers, and even that jalapeno pepper has some good for you nutrients. And this is cilantro. Now, you got to have a little bit of a dressing, and what dressing would work good with this but some lime
Yes.
juice. And here's that garlic for your heart health. And I do like to zest the limes as well and add that in. My husband always says, he always adds too much lime zest,
Oh,
but
you
you know, I
can't
just
have
really
enough.
think it's fabulous. Now, one of my favorite spices is the cumin,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just going to add a little heaping teaspoon, maybe a little bit extra
Isn't it
to
a little
that.
smoky?
It's a smoky, earthy, yet spicy
Yes.
flavor. And then
Like
you got to have a little bit of salt. Let's do about a half of a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, and then one last ingredient. Got to have a little bit of oil. I'm going to use about a tablespoon and a half. Okay, so now we've got this dressing. I think everything is added. Julie, do you think I've missed anything on the table here?
I see the chips, so we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we doing with those chips over there?
That's going to be our little vessel in a minute.
All right. So now
Scoop
we've
it out.
added 6 cans, 3 vegetables, and 3 fruits. Guys, I think you need some chips.
All right.
Okay.
Here, have a.
Get a
First
plate.
of all, have a plate and a
So
spoon.
great, low fat, high fiber,
chippies.
high vitamin and mineral.
Awesome
Great
chips.
for your cookouts and
thank you.
family get-togethers any time of the year, because
Okay,
that's the
this
thing
one.
about
Maybe
canned
one more.
foods. They're available all year round, and that's
you,
why I
Kim.
love them so much.
That looks amazing.
So what do you
And
think?
so colorful, too.
Yes. And that's giving your body all those good things to keep you aging
Oh.
well and boost your immunity.
I'm glad we're both having the garlic at the same
Good
time.
point. You know what?
What?
It's so much better than anything in a jar.
I love it, yes, I think so. And it's
So
so
much better.
easy to make, just a little bit of chopping. And I just love the blend of the fruits and the vegetables.
And it looks like summertime.
Yeah,
Very colorful.
but
And
I
then-
make it in the winter too.
Thank you, Kim, for sharing your 6-can salsa with us.
You're most welcome.
Where can we find this recipe?
It's at my website, kimgaliaz.com.
If you can't spell that, go to indieboomer.com. We'll have it there too.
And we're going to be busy for the
Yeah.
next few minutes. We'll get back to you, though.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, glad you like it.
So here's a question
What's that?
for you and you. Have you done your estate planning yet? Do you even know what it is?
Yeah, but that means either you don't have an estate or you're just really careless with your estate.
Well, you need to figure out what you're going to do if you're going to pass anything along to those kids of yours.
Your loved ones.
Yes,
Or
those brats.
Baxter, Baxter, my cat.
Well, we've got Kevin Kimbrough on the scene now to talk about estate planning for boomers.
We're here with Ann Poindexter with Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt here in their beautiful office in Carmel, Indiana. We're here to talk about some estate planning.
And planning for death. What should people be concerned with? What are the things that they should look out for or consider as they're approaching?
So first, I want everybody to understand that estate planning concerns lifetime issues as well as death issues, but I'll answer your question. And so if you're planning for death, I want everyone to know that, first of all, everyone needs a plan. You need your own plan, regardless of the size of your estate, regardless of the size of assets. And if you don't develop your own plan, the state of Indiana has a plan for you. In other words, the law says what will happen. And so I'm a firm believer in choice, and people ought to make their own choices. So it's not just about who gets your stuff, who gets the money. One of the most important considerations people need to keep in mind is who's going to be in charge of the process. So if you have a will, the person in charge of the process is who you nominate as personal representative. The personal representative's role is a role that is essentially a job. And so I want people to think about the job of not only gathering assets, paying debts, paying the taxes that may be due, dealing with, inquiries from different people, selling a house. Who is best suited to do that job?
I have a parent that may need a guardianship of some sort. How should someone approach that situation?
Very delicately. I mean, that's one of the hardest issues that I deal regularly with clients on is our aging parents and what to do when it comes to that point. First of all, there are things that we can do if we're ahead of the curve a bit to try and avoid a guardianship. You know, a guardianship is the process of going to court and proving that that parent is incapacitated such that they can't handle their own affairs. And that's not a pleasant process for anybody, but for the person we're trying to put under guardianship, it can be a demeaning process. Doesn't mean you're unaware of what's going on, but it may mean that you're at a point where you shouldn't be handling the bank account. And so one of the things we can do ahead of time that's very, very important are powers of attorney. A power of attorney is a document that a parent can sign giving authority to a child or a sibling or somebody else to undertake business transactions for them. Powers of attorney can be healthcare powers of attorney too, in the event that there's a need to help make healthcare decisions.
It's very interesting, yes.
And in most instances, if there is a power of attorney in place in advance, there is no need for a guardianship because you will have the legal authority to undertake business transactions for that parent using your power of attorney. You'll have the legal authority to give instructions to the healthcare providers using that healthcare power of attorney.
Well, very good. You are just a wealth of information.
Well, thank you.
And I'm sure that our viewers will really appreciate this segment. We're with Ann Poindexter again, with Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt. We thank you, and thanks for joining us here on Boomer TV. I'm Kevin Kimbrough.
Julie, have I ever told you about Baxter?
Your wife's watching.
Baxter is my kitty cat.
Aww.
Baxter is our kitty cat because we both adopted him.
How long have you had him?
We've had him now for, gosh, 3 or 4 years. And Baxter was like 8 or 9 years old when
you adopted him?
When we adopted him.
Aw.
Great cat. Probably the friendliest cat that we've ever had.
It's a great idea, rescuing an older animal.
We figured we were getting, older.
Aw.
Maybe our pets should
Could
get
relate.
older too
I like it.
when we adopt them.
Well, the Indianapolis Humane Society has lots of adoptables. Mel McMahon's going to introduce us to some.
Stephen Stolen, CEO, Indy Humane Society of Indianapolis. Who's coming through your door these days?
We're seeing people of all ages visiting here, families, singles, people who are perhaps older, boomers, who are interested in animals. When we're talking about people of an age, boomers, I'm one of them, not everybody has the same capacity to go outside, particularly when the elements are in central Indiana, it's really cold, or it's really hot, or it's raining. Some folks don't have the capacity to go outside a lot, and so one of the things we do here at Indy Humane is make sure that the animal people are choosing is the right animal for them.
And what if we find ourselves getting older and not able to care for our pets anymore? What are some of our options?
Sure, so you can call us and we'll help you. We would tell people if they have a vet that they should consult their vet and see if they can find a home for that animal, or adapting the way that they're living so that the animal can continue to thrive in their home.
And here at Indy Humane, you have animals of all ages.
Right, so we have puppies and kittens, which are enthusiastically endorsed by everybody who comes here. But we also have older animals, we have boomer animals. And sometimes folks think that older folks, boomers, want boomer animals. But we also have young people who love boomer animals.
Well, and everybody needs a home.
Everybody does need a home, and that's our business here at Indy Humane, to find not only a home, but the right home.
Now, Lori, you were saying this is a second career for you, volunteering here at Indy Humane, and you've taken a boomer dog home with you. Who is this?
Yeah, this is Pedro. I adopted him because I wanted to give him a chance to get the care that he needed in his later years.
And you had the training and were prepared for that, so
Yes.
that made it pretty easy, huh?
Yes, and we had a senior greyhound at home too, and he made a great companion for her.
And what would you say to a boomer thinking about adopting an older pet like Pedro?
I would say there are so many advantages of adopting an older dog. Older dogs have manners, they know some commands, they'll sleep through the night, they're usually potty trained, they don't need a ton of exercise, they give you an opportunity to get out and meet other people, become involved in other things. The
opportunities are endless when you adopt an older dog.
Rianne, you're in the trenches here at the Indy Humane.
I am.
And you go above and beyond making sure an animal is ready to go to a home, right?
We do. We absolutely do. Every animal is vaccinated, spayed, neutered, up to date on heartworm prevention, flea and tick prevention. And our Boomer puppies here, like Ashley, even get blood work, urinalysis, and full vet checks before going home. We put a lot of care into them. Hi. Oh, thank you. She's so sweet.
Well, Hannah here at Indy Humane has a special role in the development department, raising money so all these animals can be taken care of. But she also has the privilege of working with animals with special needs, too. Tell us about Bagheera here.
So Bagheera is an older kitty who came to Indy Humane off of a euthanasia list. So literally some life-saving work there. You can see that Bagheera's ears are not pristine. He's been around the block a few times. He's been fully medically vetted. All of our senior animals receive a blood work panel, urinalysis, dental work if needed. Just so much love and care going into getting them ready for a new home.
And sometimes you have to find special funds for that care too.
It's true. We have a medical sponsorship program, and that money is all earmarked, sorry Bagheera, no pun intended, for special cases and additional care.
Well, these special animals need special homes too, so hopefully we can find more for them.
Absolutely.
At Indy Humane, you can take a companion home or you can come be their companion. For Boomer TV, I'm Mel McMahon.
Sometimes Julie and I leave the kitchen and we go out, we ride around in our cars.
Road trip.
Yeah, and sometimes you ride in your car and then you end up on a bike. How did that happen?
Well, we went up to Whitestown. There's a new store called eBoom, electric bikes for baby boomers. That's what they're named for. And you might just find one that you would like to take for a spin.
I think you would be an excellent bike spokeswoman.
Paul, you made it funny. That's good. Check this out.
I pedal it.
We're here with Leanne McKay. She is the owner of eBoom. It's a store that has a lot of cool bikes, electric bikes. Why the name eBoom?
Well, eBoom actually stands for Electric Baby Boomer.
Ah, that's us!
Absolutely. And we named it that way because our electric bikes are really made for baby boomers.
Electrifying baby boomers.
Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly. Though we don't discount everyone else in the millennials, but it's a great ride for them.
How is an electric bike classified an electric bike?
Well, a lot of people think electric bikes are mopeds and that they just ride them, but not so.
Okay.
Yeah. So electric bike is made of different components. One is the motor, which helps drive the bike, and then the battery, which powers the motor, and then you have an LED little computer device that actually you look at and you help power the motor. You gear it, just like gears.
Oh,
so you could start with nothing, no assistance, or you could gear it up and have a little bit of assistance, or you could gear it up and have a lot of assistance, and so forth. So it actually helps you ride longer and stronger, and you can pedal. And some of the bikes also have a throttle where if you need a little break, your knee's bothering you or something like that, you can throttle for a little bit.
So you can use the electricity or not, and there are different degrees of how it helps you.
Exactly, exactly. So, and the bikes also come in different types. You have, commuter bikes, or you could have regular beach bikes, regular bikes. So it's bikes like you know it, except they have this assistance so that now bike riding becomes like you're 14 again, and you can just zoom up that hill if you need to, or you can ride 60 miles and go, hey, that was easy.
Let's talk about why an electric bike is good for a baby boomer.
It's good for a baby boomer because, as we're getting older, and we're getting older, we still want to ride. We want to be like we were when we were 20s, and we want to get out there, and we still want to go. And getting on these bikes will help you do that. You can maintain your balance a little bit better because you're getting that assistance from the speed. And as I said, you're able to ride longer. Some people have knee surgeries or health problems, and it helps you go ahead and ride even with those problems.
So baby boomers can stay active.
Absolutely.
Be outside. Maybe try to keep up with the grandkids.
Yeah.
How long does a typical battery on an electric bike last?
Well, that's a good question, and it has a lot of variables in it, so we'll just kind of give you a typical answer. The battery will, you have a 36 volt, 48 volt, they come in increments of 12. And then the amp hours determines how far you can ride, how much gas you have in the tank.
Oh, okay.
And those are, you want to start at about 9 or 10 amp hours. You don't want to go any lower than that because you're just not going to have a lot of gas in the tank to go far. So let's say a typical, and it's almost how much do you put in? How much of my leg power am I going to put in? And how much of the motor I'm going to use? So if you're putting a lot of leg power in, you're going to use less motor. And that's going to get you probably 60, 70 miles.
It's kind of how some cars work.
Yeah, exactly.
The hybrids.
And then you recharge the battery just like a laptop battery. It works on a 110 volt plug, and it looks like a laptop plug-in.
Oh.
And you can plug it directly into the bike, or you can plug it, or you can take the battery out and plug it in that way. Now, typical recharge is about 4 to 8 hours, depending on, once again, the battery size.
Overnight, perfect.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Adam showing me all the different components on the e-bike.
Right.
I didn't know they had a throttle on them.
I know, isn't that amazing? You can just ride and ride if you want.
Yeah, set the levels and then kick it up a notch.
That's right.
It's kind of what it did. So I can't wait to get on one again sometime soon. So
good. Well, glad to have you back.
I would love to do that. Great. All right. E-Boom, e-bikes, now you know. Julie Patterson, Boomer TV.
That's it, Julie. We made it through another show.
I thought it was great.
I know, there's a lot of information. Come back again, same time next week. We'll do it all again.
Hey, I've got some fresh material for the close tonight.
Oh, no. Great.
Okay, what kind of key opens the dance floor?
What kind of key opens the dance floor?
The hokey pokey. Hey, Paul, what kind of key opens a banana?
I don't.
A monkey. And finally, what kind of key sings?
I don't know.
A karaoke. Good night, everybody.
Those aren't dad jokes because you're a mom.
No,
All right.
fourth grader jokes.
See you soon on
I was hoping
Boomer
you'd get them.
TV.
Good night.
For more all things Boomer, just visit our website. That's indieboomer.com. Indie Boomer connects TV, magazine, and radio. It contains useful information for baby boomers all over the Indianapolis metropolitan area. And you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Pick up Indie Boomer magazine at most Kroger stores and libraries. Look for us all over Indy.
Listen to Boomer Radio every Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. on Freedom 95 with a rebroadcast Sundays at 7:30. Indie Boomer, for the next chapter of your life.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from
Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match a customer's specific needs and style. More information on Westport Homes' lifestyle collection, including community locations, at westport-home.com.
Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency. More at uniquehomesolutions.org.
Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt Lawyers, helping people with business and estate planning. More information is available at apwlawyer.com.